Fly. Dun, dun, dun.
All right. Should be live now. Should be good to go. Josh, how's it look? You're the first one in the chat, my friend. Let us know how it sounds, how it looks. The the background eraser slowly erases my microphone so I can delete myself. There we go. I think we're good to go. Ronald, what's going on, my friend? Keith, welcome to the chat. He says, I see you. I see you.
Who do you see?
I'm hoping this is working. You know, this is experiment number 2 or trial number 2, 4, 5, 10. I don't know. Lost track trying to use Google Meetings with YouTube and OBS and integrate everything together.
I need to give you my my login to Riverside. Let's do it that way.
You do Riverside. I like Google. We pay for Google as a company. Let's use it. Well, you pay for Riverside, I guess. As so.
Looks and sounds good, he says.
Awesome. No double echo. Make sure, because I can't wear headphones like Mark, so I gotta use my computer speakers to listen and hear him.
I don't hear echo on my end.
Cool. So OBS had a new update, so hopefully this is working out. OBS actually is displaying the chat for me real time, so I can jump around in OBS and shoot out things like, let me see here. See if this works. Yep, there you go. Subscribe today. Nice little overlay over the video and everything like that. You know, that's why I wanted to use OBS and Google, but seems to be working well. Sweet deal. All right, guys, I know it's been a while since you guys have seen my face. I hope you at least have been watching Mark. I know he's been putting out some videos and doing some podcasts and being far more active than I have been. Been spending almost every day at the farm, getting everything up and going. And then here in Virginia, we had a bit of a cold snap and one of our pipe burst. So I'm replacing a ceiling tiles now and then broken water lines. But no mining equipment was damaged. Everything was fine. It was in part of the building that doesn't get used. That's why it got so cold. The miners obviously heat everything. But it is what it is. We're moving forward, bigger and better things. It just leaves more room for discovery and hopefully growth. When something breaks, you fix it better than before.
And when it's not broken, don't fix it.
It was an interesting setup. The pipe that burst. Not an existing or originally installed water pipe with the building. I guess it was put on as an addition. So they had the pipe wedged between an AC duct that was connected outside, so open air from outside coming in, and a concrete wall with no insulation. And it shot across the building to a spigot that was located in our landlord's space. So nobody even knew it was there. The guy that came out to fix it, it took him a good 45 minutes to an hour just to find the leak, you know. So it is what it is. It's fixed now. Everything's up and running. Lots of new things and hardware have come into the mining farm. Mark hasn't had a chance to see it yet, or Scott. We got a large ultrasonic cleaner for all of the PCB boards and all the hash boards, and it is fucking awesome. It's as simple as that. I mean, it's so much easier. I mean, I would give them a little dust off, dunk them in the tank, 10 minutes each side, take them out, blow them off, dip them in some alcohol, let them dry. I mean, they come out spotless. Water damage disappears, dust disappears, heat marks disappear, and they go back in fresh, clean, like they just came off the factory floor. It's pretty awesome. I'm loving it.
I have a GPU that I'm working on today that I need to do that with. I might have to bring it out there.
Absolutely. It's, I mean, I've only been doing it 10 minutes each side, and I'm doing 10 minutes, and I can easily fit 4 to 6 boards in our tank at one time. So, I dunk it in 10 minutes, take them out, kind of rotate them around a little bit so different parts get, hit, and dunk it back in, another 10, 15 minutes, and it's good to go.
Nice.
Ronald says he busted some pipes last night. So, Ronald, I'm going to call you out, man. Ronald sent me a video on Instagram of some crazy lady beating on his door trying to get in. Ron must be laying that good pipe. She was banging on that door hard.
Actually, clean pipe, lay pipe, but. All right, what's on the agenda?
Mark has double echo. I think that's my end, Keith. Let me see if I can fix that.
Way to go.
Sorry. See if that's any better. What's on the echo? Just kind of get everybody up to speed. I know there's got some people and individuals that we host for in the chat. I know there's some interested parties that are looking for equipment that I sure have questions about equipment. And just kind of a perspective of what's going to go on for 2022. And there's my dryer in the background going off.
Is it still echoing?
I think we were a little bit of a delay here for when they're reading it, and I'm reading it and they're typing it. So.
Oh, okay. It was a horror movie. Someone said.
Little reverb from Mark. I wonder if.
Little reverb. I wonder why.
So they want to know what we're using for the cleaner. We're using Windex. Windex works, yes. We do have on order deionized water, which we have in stock, and we're going to be switching to a flux remover that is specially designed flux and water stain or water damage repair solution from a company called Branson, I believe, and they specialize in ultrasonics and PCB boards. So we're going to be using that equipment. A lot less toxic and doesn't smell nearly as violent as Windex, especially when you heat it up. And it doesn't turn your fingertips blue or your fingernails blue. But Windex does work well. It dries quickly. If you're looking for a cheap option, Windex, it's got the ammonia in it, so it does evaporate. Even going from Windex, blowing it off, and then if you want to use like a 99% alcohol bath, just kind of dunk it in the alcohol, make sure all the residual moisture's been kind of evaporated, blow it off, and then I usually let the PCB boards dry between 6 to 8 hours before I even attempt to run them. And even then I might rewash them if I still see gunk or water damage or something on them. Seems to be working well. Nice little method. I'll take some pictures tomorrow and post them on Discord so people can see. Toxic like my relationships. Ron. Oh, Jesus. Preach. I think Ron needs to just start his own podcast. Just the day in the life of Ron. Captain Ron. Do you do GPUs also? Yes, we do GPUs as well. Mark is kind of the GPU guru amongst our coastal crypto group. But we can clean the GPUs in the ultrasonics if that's what you're asking, and we also sell them hardware wise. There's always a list. Trying to get the list up and active and updated as frequently as I can over on Discord, and hopefully soon our new vamped site. And Mark has been tearing them apart and putting them back together far faster than I can.
Yeah, they are. I'm still buying used GPUs, so buyer beware when you do that. They are. I posted some pictures on Twitter today on one of the used GPUs that we just recently got, a 5700 XT, and needless to say, it's going to be living its best life in the farm now, because it was bad, really bad.
He wants to know don't need to worry about the washing off the heatsink compound. A lot of times Mark is repasting the compounds anyways and putting new thermal pads on the GPUs that we run. But depending on the solution that you're running in, you're taking off the plastic obviously, but you can soak pretty much the whole graphics card in Windex. Let it run. Obviously, if you open it up, it's going to clean it far better than with the covers on it. But if you put the cover on, I mean, the stickers are going to come off. So you break the board down to the base PCB board, dump it in there, 5-10 minutes, and it's done. Let it dry properly, and let your heat sinks dry out, let your board dry out, and you're good to go and run. I haven't seen any issue personally, and I haven't heard of anybody having any issues with heat sinks yet. But again, a lot of time Mark is redoing the compound and the thermal pads.
Yeah, heat sinks on a ASIC board is not terrible either. It's very easy as long as the chip is still there, connected. ASIC, the actual heat sink, easy. Compound, mix it together, put it on there, paste it, boom, good to go.
Yep. And you're just using traditional thermal paste, right? Not like the ASIC chips where you got to use a like a glue 2-part compound.
Oh yeah, so on GPUs they use MX4. I find it better than the new version that they have. I think it's MX5 or something like that. Use it, very good. Thermal pads I use Gilead. I think that's how they pronounce it, GELID. They are rated for 15 volts, so very highly rated. They keep the temps down. It's better than I still get them off Amazon, the thermal pads, but way better than if you just got the generic blue or gray thermal pads from Amazon. You can really tell the quality of the actual product with the thermal pad.
So that was, you said MX5 or MX4, not MX5.
And yeah, MX4 for the thermal paste. It's from Arctic. And then Gilead for the thermal pads. And obviously measure your pads first before you order them, so you're ordering the right ones. We mainly have ASIC miners, he says. ASIC miners, yeah. So I also bought a thermal compound that we use for the heat sinks. Obviously, with the chips on an ASIC board, you have to resolder those. We have been staying away from that.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, the heat sinks do pop off. And if it pops off and you're lucky enough where the chip stays behind, a little bit of rubbing alcohol, clean off what compound you can. And, I'm at the point where I'm actually, scraping off the residual or the old compound or the old paste from the heatsink itself, kind of trying to be gentle with the chip as much as you can, and then using that 2-part epoxy or that 2-part thermal paste, mixing it and applying it to the chip, and then sticking the thermal heatsink back down to it. It's a pain in the ass. I mean, that stuff takes 4 hours to cure and another 4 hours to do a hard set. So you got heat sinks pumping off ASIC boards. It takes a good day to get that board, straightened back out before you can even attempt to run it. It's a pain. It really is. I mean, I'm sanding some of these heat sinks just to get the compound off of them. So if you're busting them off, either they only applied a little bit, or you were, grabbing it where you weren't supposed to be grabbing it. Ron says he used that paste on a Nintendo Switch repair.
Wow.
So Hart Zell says he's running multiple ASIC miners. What kind of miners are you running, my friend? Slight delay, silent air, dead air. Isn't that a big no-no in the broadcasting world?
Oh, yeah, podcasting. That's where you get that magic, post editing, post production magic.
Little hard to do that when you're live streaming and kind of rigging systems together to shoot it out to YouTube.
Yeah. I have to we got to replace the CPU on the motherboard for the Raven rig. I attempted to mine Avian the other day on the CPU and at the mine, just not take it at all. So we got to replace that. I have one already ready to go.
Okay. So is it up or is it down? What's going on? I didn't even check it today. I mean, I reset
yeah,
it.
that's fine. No, yeah, that's fine.
But we're running.
I had to remove the Avian miner. Well, it's CPU miner off of it, but yeah, no, it's fine.
Okay. Quality of grabbing things in the wrong place. Hartzell says he's running all L3s, 25 at one location and X5s at another location. Well, that's a nice little starter. What's that? What'd you ask?
How does he like those X5s?
How do we like those X5s? We just ordered ourselves some. We're hoping for good things. I mean, we hear good things about them. It's a roll of the dice when you're getting stuff, secondhand or refurbished. It's a tough market to be in right now. I mean, we got lucky and found a decent supplier, a good supplier that we're working with now. Keith says Avian is really hard on CPUs. They tend to run a lot hotter than GPU or CPU mining, XMR or RTM.
I'm not experiencing that. Now, I know the CPUs are running at about 70 degrees from what I'm experiencing with running Avian on Monitor X. I think that's how you pronounce it. But honestly, I don't think that it's that hot. Like I'm okay with 70 degrees. I do have just a regular cooler. I guess I could get like another. I have one fan on the big cooler standing up off of the CPU. I know if I went, liquid cooled or did like one of those higher end coolers, the temperatures easily would be in like the 50s for sure. So I'm not experiencing Avian being that difficult or that hard or hot on the CPUs that I'm running, but I am also running on like a 4950K. I have I'll tell you right now. My bad. I don't know if we're supposed to cuss on your thing or not.
Yeah, I already did. I broke the seal.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did.
It's the late night show. We're good.
Yeah, G4400 on one rig. That's not that. What is the other one? Come on. And a i7 7700K is what I'm running on one of my other rigs beyond the other 4950 I said. And again, they're in the 70s, low 70s. Other than that, though, it's not that bad. So I'm not experiencing very difficult or hot CPU ran on Avian.
That's good.
Yeah, I lost the fan on the L3 this morning. Oh man, really? It's such a tedious repair. the fan, like, and it's one thing, like either the fan is just took a crap, or the control board is now malfunctioning on you, and it's like, I hope it's the latter.
You're right. He says, yes, roll the dice roll the dice. 6 are awesome and 4 are less than our L3s. I mean, that's kind of what we ended up with when we bought the A6s. I mean, we bought a number of A6s, and we're going back and forth with our old distributor.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm holding out. We're going to start, you know, transitioning the farm, our own personal farm, to the LT5s here hopefully soon, and the X5s, if they're, you know, they work out well for us, and start moving away from the L3s. I mean, the L3s have been our bread and butter for a long time, but as we grow and we have the space to grow more, that's definitely, I think, the direction that we're moving in.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna start branching into other miners here pretty soon too. So
Yep.
more,
Yeah, I'd like to
more
get-
that comes in,
get-
the better.
What's that?
And the more, the better.
The more the better. Yeah, it'd be nice to get our hands on some S19s. I mean, now that we have a nice supplier that's, you know, updating lists bi-weekly for us and prices, it definitely opens a lot more doors for us to grow. CK6 and CK5 are our next move, he says.
I know I can get our hands on the CK5, so if you want to take a dabble at that or whatever, check out the price sheet. Not to shill or anything, sorry, but
that's why we're here. to say welcome to 2022 and kind of answer as many questions as we can about the farm and, you know, move forward. I do have a video coming out here soon for Side Hustle Enterprise. Been doing a lot of research and a lot of digging around BlackRock, Osprey, Marathon, Grayscale, and how they're kind of all interlocked, and, you know, they're kind of in the whole mining realm, and bigger banks have a bigger part to play in crypto than I think people realize or want to realize or take acknowledgement of. So hopefully I'll get that video out soon enough.
well, just to touch on that, I don't know if you realized, but the reason the dip just recently happened was not because retail investors were liquidating.
Right.
So I may just want to put that out there.
No, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, they all went from their, you know, record highs and dropping 49-30%. So they got to make up those losses someplace.
Right.
Yeah, but it's I posted something on a while back on Discord about an annual report that I dug up on one company that was working closely with BlackRock, and it all just kind of goes in a big circle. Whether they're doing crypto ETFs or they're lending out, you know, $3 million to purchase, you know, S19s, and $30 million to build a farm in the middle of Oregon. It's all cyclical. Money is all cyclical. It's, you know, one hand to the next, and, you know, big circle till it comes back. Says you were acting as middleman and taking crypto. So we are working on, or we should have it this week, next week, our retail license for Arizona, where we're registered, correct?
I have submitted the application. They did not give me a time frame, but
Okay.
My goal was by next week to have the application submitted. It is submitted. The downside to that is we get GPUs at retail. We have to charge taxes. So that is the downside of that. But essentially, we would be a retail store, and if I can get my hands on any particular GPU, you know, put the money in my hand, little man.
Yeah, we're not out here to scam anybody or scalp anybody or, you know,
No,
It
with our reseller license, like we at least for GPUs, dealing with that, there is other products that depending on what we want to actually pull from the supplier that I've applied with, but GPUs at least like we have to give them at retail. We can't like we'll essentially supplier if we don't give them at retail price.
right. Now we're trying to do this on the up and up and as legitimate as we possibly can, or we have to. This is a company, this is an LLC that we're running. Um, co-owners, myself, Mark, and Scott, who's not with us today. But we're no, we're not here to. It's been we're trying to help the community. That's what it comes down to. We came together, Mark, myself, and Scott. Well, Mark and Scott have been working together for a while, and I kind of came into the picture. If you're new to my channel or to their channel, we're trying to help. That's what it comes down to. We were helping each other out and got along and decided, hey, let's shoot for it and see what we can make of the crypto world and start our own company, our own farm, and go from there. And it's taken off super fast. And we're doing the live AMAs. We're blasting stuff on Discord, answering questions. It's just us. It's just the three of us. You have questions, you have concerns. We're real people. You see our faces. We're here to help and answer questions and make sure that everybody's happy at the end of the day.
I think what I realized right away, and I think a lot of people realize right away, is that when you start this journey, it seems like you're alone and the availability is not there. Availability to knowledge, the availability to equipment, to just troubleshooting things, like it's just not there. So working together, me and Scott initially, we had a good relationship prior to with the podcast and things like that, and then starting the journey together, just bouncing things off each other, hooking up with John here and his knowledge a lot more on the ASIC end has helped us drastically. And obviously we've ramped that up, starting a whole farm and everything like that. And my goal and mission was, and that actually has always at this point with our GPU farm here and the ASIC farm that we have, is the availability of miners. Like it is difficult to find something that's reasonably priced. Like you can find anything anywhere, and it just depends on what you want to pay for it, right? There is nothing out there that's like pleasant to my pocketbook, I guess you could say. there's not anything. So, we start this LLC. One of the goals was, we figure out how we get access to wholesale. NVIDIA and AMD do not partner with your small mom and pop shops, which we would be considered that. They deal with Best Buy. They deal direct to the big guys, Walmart, things like that. So getting our hands directly into NVIDIA and AMD, not reasonable, but we can get our hands to or connections to the wholesalers, and now we've figured out how to do that, and we're starting the process. So hopefully we'll have our license soon. We'll start throwing up some GPUs retail, and we'll just go from there and see what you guys could do if you want in like the general chat of the Discord or mining and equipment channel for is 3060s is something to where we can possibly find your hand. We're not sitting here trying to out hustle bots and all that other stuff. And then we have the ASICs. I have a direct connect now with a farm in China. A lot of used machinery. I am asking for more refurbished, and when refurbished just means new fans, new ribbons, semi-clean. The boards work. The new shell. It looks and feels new, but obviously ASICs, unless they're coming out right now like the L7, LT6 from Gold Shell, things like that. They're not new. So, we got to deal with what we have, or what we can work with. But I am trying to get quality products from the mine that we're working with.
Yeah, it's just grinding every day to figure it out. Let me see again. I'm trying to catch up on some questions here. Uh, that's why I'm watching, looking for inside information. That's kind of what we're doing. I mean, we've been hitting the pavement, making phone calls. Mark is constantly making phone calls, going back and forth while I'm at the farm. And it's just we had one supplier that we thought was a good guy, was actually here in the States, and didn't work out. So we move on.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
It's dealt the wrong hand, especially with me nagging.
Yeah.
So
he's not a bad guy. He's not a bad. You're right. I'm just a little sore from our last transaction, but you're right. He's not a bad guy. But you've been hitting the pavement hard, finding a good supplier that we've has been giving us access to price lists that we can then give to you guys. We're not paying for your shipping for you. We're not making any money off the miners we're selling. It's just we'll take a look at them for you. We'll make sure that they're clean and respectable, because it is our contact, our supplier, and we'll send them out to you. Ron says he had to sell some DOGE to pay for his house in Belize. I know that, my friend. Hang in there. Then Hartzell's saying our IRA is funding our mining and hosting companies. That's interesting.
Know your risk. Know your risk.
Know your risk. Going through an IRA. Yeah, we're doing everything through as an LLC partnership, and just organically growing, and sweat equity into it, and it's been very beneficial, and it's very what's the word I'm looking for? The growth has been exponential just in the past couple months that we've been in operation together. He says, how long have you, so got another guy here who asks, how long have you been in business now? So Coastal Crypto LLC has been in business for what, 5 months, 4 months?
Yeah, I would say we're on month 4.
Month 4, month 5. But our backgrounds are in small business. Mine's in small business and education, business management and education. Mark and Scott are both, phenomenal. What, underwriters? Is that what you guys? Underwriters and cryptocurrency enthusiasts and other things. Podcasters.
I hold my real estate license. I have been in banking for God knows knows how long. Again, licensed realtor. I've done wholesaling. A little bit of everything when it comes to some type of real estate, and touching. Very specialized in hard money. I can get my hands on it very easily, as long as we got some collateral to deal with. And Scott he's been in the banking industry just as long as I have. He just has not been as risky when it comes to entrepreneurship, and this is his first little baby, and he's not here. So shows how much neglect we're getting from Scott. I hope you watch this later, asshole.
That's all right. That's all right. I mean, it's so prior to this LLC, we have my current YouTube LLC. That's Mazco. Soon to have another one here called Mazco Garage, in honor of my father. And then, prior to that, I had a welding and fabrication company that I ran since 2009, and I recently closed the doors after I had an accident. So I'm very versed in when it comes to small business and business management. When it comes to behind the doors, making sure things are optimized for production, and getting things off the ground and rolling. I leave the paperwork and the number crunching to Mark, because John knows spell good, so we'll leave it to them.
Shit, we're both screwed.
So many years of business, being in the world of business, coastal crypto, fairly new. But we're growing, and we're growing very fast. So
Yeah. Me and Scott have been in GP mining for what feels like a decade. But literally, we're about to hit our year anniversary, and we're at a gigahash worth on Ethereum. And then the mine is literally a few months old. So, and we're a good handful of, we're like 12, 14, I don't know, a lot in Litecoin. So,
yeah, we're doing fairly well.
all I know
Mentorship.
is I'm on the phone with China every other day.
You got to pick up what the like Pimsleur's guide to Chinese or Mandarin, or something, and speak the language, you'll get a discount. Mentorship. What do you mean by mentorship? Do you want us to run a mentorship? I mean, there's not really much to mentor. Everything is kind of open source for both of us. This is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We're just kind of bringing you along the journey that we're traveling along. This is growing pains for us. Watch us make the mistakes so you don't have to, kind of scenario.
Yeah, I mean, if you got questions or anything like that, again, get into the Discord channel. Just shoot a DM, or even just asking in a general chat. Make sure to tag me though. So many damn channels, I can't jump into every single one of them. So just tag me, and or John, and we'll be more than happy to answer any of them. I know I was just tagged earlier today about someone and flashing an L3, the topic at hand. When it comes to L3s, because nobody wants to use Bitmain's firmware.
Yeah, he's having a little bit of trouble. Hopefully he'll get around to it. I mean, he was having issues, it seemed like, going from ASIC FW to Hive, and I don't know.
Seems impossible to me, but okay.
I don't know if it was just a file error, user error with the file, or if he needs to do it with a SD card. I instructed him to go back to an older version of Bitmain's firmware, pre-signature lock, and then try to go to Hive. Reflash the NAND file. I have a video on how to jump the memory, reflash your NAND, and flash Hive OS using an SD card as well. So I mean that's the little more in-depth way of doing it if you can't get through the GUI, but so you got to do what you got to do. Finding miners as a good price, definitely not easy these days. You were correct. It's hard. Like I said, Mark just said he's been on the phone every day with China, with local distributors, local sellers, trying to get a retail license to be retailers. It's anywhere you can make up a penny, save a penny here, save a penny there. That's what it's all about. And you just got to do the legwork, hit the pavement. Most of the channels are making YouTube money and not investing into the mining investor. Most of the channels are making YouTube money.
I'll be honest with you. Like my channel is under the limit, AmigosPC, so we are not making shit off of YouTube or any type of revenue from that. Any money that we've made off of our channel or podcast has literally been made from thin air.
Yep. Yeah, it's I put my own money up for Coastal Crypto. Mark and Scott did the same thing. It's all out of our own pocket. It's not coming from YouTube. I'm almost about 50 subscribers short of 2,000 subs. So hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Share the videos. Check out Mark's channel so we can get him monetized finally and get him doing some super chats. But mainly my YouTube income goes to my overdrawn Wells Fargo account. So it ain't going that far, guys.
Yeah.
I trust these. Ronald says I trust these guys. Thanks, Ronald. We're here for you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, Ron.
And enjoy that beautiful weather. We've seen some of the pictures. We know it's nice down there. Hopefully, get your house up soon. So thanks for the background information. Anytime. I mean, we understand. I mean, been doing this a while, both of us, three of us. Knowing who you're dealing with is a big part of it.
Wait, what? Today's my first day.
First day, fresh out. I try to be as open as private as I possibly can. Open with the business side of things, open with who I am. Try to keep my family life private. I do. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter and LinkedIn, Coastal Crypto, and Side Hustle, and myself. So I don't hide a whole lot. It's all out there for you guys to see. Because we understand trust is important when building a business, and good clientele and good customers. LTC is a good stable coin. Yes, Ron.
I don't know about that. Not recently.
Not recently. I still like Litecoin.
Yeah, no, I love Litecoin. It's great. I can expect it to be not Bitcoin.
Yeah. I had to fight a couple of mine to get them to Hive. Yeah, it's because of Bitmain. It's they don't want you moving away from their software. They don't want you moving away from.
Well, they get a dev fee.
Yeah, their firmware. So they're going to make it as difficult as they possibly can. But there are ways around it. Jesse's asking if anybody's selling a miner. Hit up Mark.
I'm buying.
Yeah, I think Jesse is who you bought. Just bought an L3 off of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I got to go pick that up tomorrow. It came to me, Jesse. It didn't go to Mark. I have to go put it in the farm. But now we're rolling out all sorts of things, not just mining equipment, not just ASICs or GPUs, but power solutions. One of the biggest hurdles that miners come across is power consumption, or how to get enough power to your miners, or how to utilize the power that you have. So I've been putting together, working with electrical engineers, looking at schematics and drawings and trying to figure out a safe way. Now, these aren't PDUs. There's no chips in them. It's just a simple, safer way to single out individual miners on individual breakers, making sure that you don't burn down your house or burn down your farm, and making sure that you can get 240 or specific power to some of these miners. Because we found out, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have too, ASIC miners run far more efficient off of 240 than they do your 115 standard plug or 110
easily.
So I posted some pictures over on Discord. Let me see if I can drag them on over here. Hold on.
Yeah, let's see them.
I'm working on it. Give me a second.
Let's get some crypto porn.
I don't think Mark can see him, but I think everybody else can. Hold on. Let me see if I can share it with Mark as well. Share a window. There we go.
Oh, snap.
So it's this is one version of it. It's a Siemens panel, rated for high voltage electrical equipment, something that you would have, 3-phase power, 2-phase power going in, single-phase power going into, whatever kind of C13 cord color you want, we can pretty much get our hands on. And this particular box is set up with 14 C13 cables, all on individual 15 amp breakers. So way more than enough to run an L3, to run an A6, to run, S19. I think the L3s at 240 only eat up maybe 6 amps overclocked. So a 15 amp breaker is well within the 80% rule that you should be staying within when you're hooking up your miners, making sure you don't cook your panels. So hopefully that helps. If you guys want custom power solutions, let me know. I'll do the best I can to help you. Get you straightened out, get you set up. Again, we're not making crazy amount of profit. We're gonna make a little bit of something, but let me help you out. Let's make sure we don't burn down your house. Especially if you're building one, Ronald. You don't want you to burn down your new house. So that we're offering a number of options, just to kind of keep it going, keep it out there, trying to help people with areas that we struggled in, kind of giving you guys solutions to problems that we had and we found answers to. Ron says LTC is recovering nicely. It will. I think the big market dip that we had here in the U.S. definitely had a big part to play in crypto kind of taking a dump. Thanks for the info on the Bitmain issues. Thought it was only me having issues. No, it's not you. Bitmain doesn't like to play nice with others. So,
It's crazy how commercialized these L3s are, or even the S19. Like Bitmain in general, like their product is very commercialized, literally everywhere. When you dive into this world,
yeah,
and they run like they're good to start off with, right? The machines are good to get your feet wet when it comes to some of this ASIC mining. But honestly, these machines are complete crap. Like it's from the factory, they are not great. Like they're not very efficient.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. Not today's standard, and that's just typical with computer technology. Period. Every 5 minutes something's more efficient somewhere or somehow. But when you start getting a good handful of these things, they're constantly like I don't know if it's like they're just chained together, even though they're not connected together whatsoever. They're chained together. One goes wrong, another goes wrong. Like it's just constant troubleshooting with them when it comes to when they actually go down. Once you have them efficient and they're just chilling doing their job, they're fine until the tune falls off.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what we've been experiencing as of late is just, things are rolling and everything's good on the L3s that we have. And then it's not, and we're troubleshooting for like a day because, the tune fell off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually something simple too, which sucks. I don't know. I mean, I'm hope soon that here Coastal Crypto will have the opportunity to work closer with, say, Gold Shell and Innisilica, who are actually seem to be willing to work with farms, or individuals starting out, whatever it may be, doing proprietary orders and systems set up for your needs, versus the cookie cutter stuff that Bitmain kind of pumps out. From what
that does remind me, I have to email them again. I emailed them 2 weeks ago, I think.
Gold Shell.
So I need to get Gold Shell and Silicon.
Yeah, I mean they've been sending us promotional stuff and letting us know that they're there and ready for us. But there seems to me like Gold Shell, Innisilica, they're willing to work with people more on a one-to-one basis. Building.
I mean, they put it on their website.
What's that?
I mean, they put it on their website. That's it. They say that.
Right.
So you want a custom miner?
Are we going to cover AMC? Yes, I'll try to cover AMC, Ronald. I'll get to it. He says I got to make money. Jess says I'm actually starting to exchange, dealing with the metaverse. I will talk more about it in general chat on Side Hustle later. Yeah, I've been reading a little bit about it.
He's starting an exchange.
Oh, starting an exchange. Sorry. John, no read good.
Yeah. Yeah, I need more detail on that, and I would like to know what you're listing first. Yeah.
Safe Moon?
No. Safe Moon. If anything, don't. Safe Moon.
Yeah, hit us up, Jess. Let us know what you got going on. If I can sell,
right.
If I can sell a picture of grass for $1 million, then that's $1 million in my pocket. Yes. If you sell anything for $1 million, it's $1 million in your pocket. I have a bunch of
Very
ASICs today. My L3++ appears to have one bad board, stopped working. Any ideas on how to fix it? Clean it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Clean it first, right? Elbow grease if you have to.
Yep.
John was saying earlier, we use a machine. But yeah, clean it first, clean the board, see if that helps. If not, start moving the switches around, test each board individually to see maybe it's your PSU. 9 times out of 10, too, we've been experiencing, we just got a good handful of PSUs that were just not great from China. And that's like kind of undersaying it. We realized that, okay, some of these PSUs are not powering the machine like they should be, and we had to order more.
Right. Yeah, so PSU could be an issue. Like Mark said, check your control board, and ribbon cables can also be an issue. People don't realize the ribbon cables do get hot. The ribbon cables do have, signal going through them. There is resistance. They can burn. I've seen ribbon cables with scorch marks on them and turn brown. They may not catch fire or melt like a PSU 6-pin will, but ribbon cables can fail. So check your ribbon cable, clean your boards out, and try using some of the third-party firmware like ASIC FW or Hive OS and doing a fine tune. It takes a little bit of time if you're running it for the first time, but it will run through each individual chip and kind of try to sort things out. And enough times, that'll kick it back to life a little bit. I've seen it happen a number of times. So try those options out and let us know how it works out for you.
Oh, InnoSilicon did reach out to us. They responded back.
Nice going. Check your email. Why do we have a company email if you're not going to check it? Scott.
I swear I check my email.
Mine never closes. Mine is constantly open. My wife yells at me, "Get off your phone, get off your computer. Put it down." I think Scott's maybe logged in once to his Coastal Crypto email. So make sure you email John or Scott. I mean John or Mark.
Yeah, right.
This is what happens when you don't show up, Scott. We rag on you.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be the other way around too if it was me or John not showing up.
Speaking of PSUs, did you say you can use one PSU on 2 L3 miners? Yes, you can. I have done it. You can't overclock it past 560. I mean, you have to have.
I wouldn't even go to 560. What we experienced when you did that, like, hey, if you want to annoy me, that would be like the one thing to do is go ahead and limit your machines. Like I was not happy when we did that. I'm just going to put that out there. But yeah, he did it. I would recommend at 504, 660 watts, no more, one PSU. It does work.
Yes, it does. And the reason I did that is because we were.
I know, but I'm still going to vent. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Let me vent. Let me be me.
I'd rather have them up than down or not running. So at least they were running. But yeah, you can run if you're limited on power and you have multiple machines. You can run one 1400 watt PSU. Will run 2 L3s at 504, 510. Mark is right. You really shouldn't go past that. You're putting a lot of strain on those PSE connectors, the 6 pins. The reason most hash boards have 2 6-pin connectors is to spread out the resistance and spread out the heat so you don't cook them and melt them, because they do cook and they do melt. I have proof and a few boards that have caught fire.
You gotta take in mind too, like the big farms, the one that run these machines, they run them at the very bare minimum.
Yeah.
And they're fine with that because they have the volume to run at the bare minimum, and they're keeping the machine for longevity. So I think that's why you can do it on Bitmain. Like it powers and it works, very well, I guess you could say. But for like the at-home miner that's sitting here, 504 is not a lot of Doge or Litecoin on a regular daily basis. Not even a daily basis, because most of the machines don't hit the daily limits on the pools that do merge mine. So something to think about.
Food for thought.
Yeah.
Michael, glad we could help. I mean, again, man, if you got a Discord or you're into Discord, check us out over there. Lots of solutions and some awesome problem solvers and a good community. You can always email me as well. I believe my email is on my YouTube channel, so check out the About Me tab and you can find my email there, or Instagram or Twitter or wherever else. I'm around. I'm here.
Ditto.
We power our L3s with 2,000 watt PSUs running 515 to 645. 2,000 watts a little overkill for an L3.
You do what? But is he saying 2,000? He's running two machines off 2,000 watt.
It looks like, I mean, we power our L3s with 2,000 watt PSU running at 515 and 645. I mean, if 2,000 watts at 720, sure. I mean,
yeah.
I think the L3s max out at like 1,300 watts at 720, unless you're doing immersion mining and you're bypassing the 720, and you can get them up to the 830s or whatever it is that you can get with immersion mining. Then you would need maybe a 2,000 watt, but 1,400, 1,800 Bitmain, APW 7, APW 3, plenty, and we supply those. So if you need some, let us know. Come on down.
We will beat Amazon's prices every single day.
You heard it. Mark said it, not me. Mark said it. We will beat Amazon prices, or he will beat Amazon prices.
On a Bitmain PSU, yeah. I'm very confident in that. I'll hold my word on that one. Maybe by $1, but we'll beat it.
So Bitmain PSUs. I mean, those the black ones we got, the 2,000 watt PSUs that we got for the A6s. Those are nice machines too. Those are nice PSUs. I like those.
Yeah, dude. If you are running a 2,000 watt PSU, you could definitely put 2 L3s on that, and you probably could tune it a little bit more than what we did. Like where we maxed one of them out at 560 when we did it, but the others we ran at 504. But definitely 2,000 watts. You're looking at 1,000 each. Just be careful. Is basically, I mean, know your risk.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, you're running one 2,000 watt PSU for 2 miners. Yeah, be careful with the heat. Be careful with the heat on those 6 pins. Stagger them on each board. Don't line them up. Go front back across your boards. Spread that heat out the best you can. If you're gonna do that method, again, we were running one PSU, like Mark was saying. One machine was clocked and maxed out at 504, and I would push the second machine to 560. And we were within the 1,400 watt 80% rule for that PSU. Whenever we're talking electrical and you're talking wattage and amperage, you want to be, we feel safer. I feel safe going up to at least 80% of what the max output is of that unit, whether it is a breaker, whether it is an electrical drop coming out of your panel, whether it's the service on your house or your building, whether it is the PSU itself, 80%. Don't push it. Once you get past that 80%, then that resistance, that power turns to heat. Heat turns to inefficiency. Inefficiency turns to meltdowns and fires. Avoid it. Avoid it. Avoid it. Avoid it. we had a an electrical contractor come out and do a complete survey on our farm to reduce heat on our breakers, to reduce heat on our cords and cables, and that alone has made our machines more efficient. Just making sure that our cables are staying cool, not necessarily the miners themselves, but before we get to even the equipment, making sure that the cables are cool, making sure that the cables aren't getting too hot will make a huge difference in your equipment as well. Heat is not good. Avoid heat. What else you got, Mark?
Oh, we had a whole list, didn't we? I was trying to pull it up.
You pull that up. I know Ron was asking about AMC. Ron, we talked a little bit about it on Instagram. I'm holding, my friend. I know you got some stuff going on. If you gotta sell, you gotta sell. You do what's best for you. At the end of the day, you do what's going to be best for you in your life. I do what's best for my family and myself. I'm holding, 5,000 plus AMC shares. I started off with 6,000, so I've sold a couple hundred shares of AMC to pay my bills. It's the game you play. I this is what I do. I don't have a 9-to-5 job anymore. I'm a YouTuber and I run a crypto farm. I got to pay my bills somehow because I want my company to succeed, so I'm putting everything I can into the companies. AMC, I feel it's going to squeeze. I don't think they're going to. I don't think they can avoid it at this point in time. I think there's a lot of hype around. I know Citadel got some new influx of money into their firm, but it'll happen. The squeeze will happen. Don't panic, my friend. It's just gonna take time. Are you talking AMC stock? Yes, I am. We're talking AMC stock. Ronald and I are both holding AMC along with DOGE and a number of other things. Got to pay your bills, Ronald. That comes first. There will be other money making opportunities. You can't. I know FOMO is strong. For a lot of people. Do what you got to do, my friend. Nobody will say a bad thing about what you got to do to keep yourself, life sustaining, whatever it may be. He says, I don't want to cash out any DOGE, but I'll replace it. I honestly think DOGE is a little easier to replace than AMC right now. I tried I sold some shares, pay some bills, what was left over. I tried to buy back into AMC, and I'm with Fidelity, and it took 2 days to fill my order because there were no shares available. That, to me, right there is a good indication that the squeeze is inevitable. The fact that Fidelity, a large brokerage that has direct access to the market, did not have the shares available to fulfill my order. It took 2.5 days for them to fill my order. It wasn't that I was asking some crazy price. I went in, maybe a couple cents lower than market, and it still took them 2.5 days to fill my order. So I think DOGE is probably a little easier to replace than AMC right now. DOGE is the play. That's what I thought. Yeah. All right, Mark, what you got for us?
I was asked by one of the members of the Discord to go over hotspot stuff with H&T mining next time we went live. So I
Yeah,
thought
man.
that that would be a good opportunity for us to do that and then actually have a conversation more than me just asking you to power cycle the machine. So we are running H&T miners at multiple locations. I wanted to just pull up a random one. I do not own this one, but I wanted to go over some tips and tricks. If you guys are H&T mining with helium miners, um, I can't get my hands on them. If you guys a desire to have one,
We sell
I
'em.
cannot get them. Yeah, I cannot get them at retail. I don't want to say we sell them. I can get my hands on them. So uh, they're not at retail, but if you guys, do want to look into it, feel free to reach out and I can help facilitate that transaction. But either way, that's not why I wanted to do this. So
Sure.
I wanted to go over some tips because one of the conversations that I did have with someone is they were upset that the miner wasn't making what they thought it would be in a populated area. And after dialing down and figuring out what was really the cause or issue, is that they were running the miner on factory, basically a factory antenna, which you should not be doing. Uh, every antenna is different. You got to do your own research as to figuring out what antenna is going to be working for you. A lot of people love the 5.8 dBi antenna when it comes to helium mining. Also, if you guys want to, feel free and chime in on any suggestions and or questions with helium. We run on a majority of our machines an 8 dBi antenna. I am in the Phoenix metro area, a very populated area when it comes to H&T miners. This is just one side of the valley right here. But if you scroll out, you start to see it is crowded, like way too crowded. And I am averaging with just my helium miner roughly about $10 a day. In that, I don't have a really good transmit scale, and that's not really one of the benefiting factors of you making a lot of H&T. But one thing is when you do get a miner, if you guys are looking into mining or you do mine H&T, a stronger DBI antenna than the factory is my number one thing that I wanted to just basically present. What have we been experiencing with our miner at the mine? Other than they're very difficult when you first get them. They can be very frustrating when you first get them, and you have to be patient with the miners because they are syncing to the blockchain. And some of these machines, Syncrobit specifically, will say that they are synced to the H&T, the Helium blockchain, and they are not. The app for Helium is awful and will tell you that it is syncing for days and days and days. And the machine may tell you that it is 100% synced. And in most cases, you should be trusting your dashboard when it comes to that. But in reality, it's a mixture of both. When it says it's synced, it may not be synced. The blockchain's constantly moving. And what happens there is that it gets out of sync. And with some of these machines, they reboot. And most cases, they don't come right back online. So you have to power cycle them. I would say at least once a day. Well, maybe not so much recently, but once a day, John gets a text message from me saying, "Hey, can you power cycle the one at the mine?"
I got
Like,
it down to like every 2 days now.
yeah, yeah.
So with that, I think one of our issues, just for us alone, one, I put, which I will be changing back, I put our Syncrobit in the outdoor case, and it's in our attic of our farm. I think there might be a heat issue with it being in the outdoor case. There's not a lot of ventilation or cross flow in that weatherproof case if it was because it's not outside. So I'm going to put it back in the stock case. Another issue that seemed to have had a negative effect on our miner was the length and the style of Cat6 Ethernet cable we were using. It's PoE, power over Ethernet, for the Syncrobits, and we were using 100 plus feet. I had 100 plus feet of Ethernet, Cat6, non insulated. That I think was one of the major downfalls for our miner. But once I get those resolved, I think we'll start seeing better results with our synchro bit.
Look at you in Nevada. Another populated area which people are making a crap ton of H&T.
So okay, you got Michael's pulled up.
Yeah. Activity, rewards. I won't zoom in. You're doing pretty good, man. Lifetime of 5. Activity. Yeah, so your transmit scale is about the same as mine. So you should be at least around $10 a day. So just definitely look at this whole area. Wow. Um yeah, so one thing is what I would recommend is I see that you're close to a lot, but you're on a border where you may not be close to other miners. What I would in this is very sometimes questionable, sometimes not, it's a very a topic for debate, right? So helium allows you to adjust your location for safety reasons, uh, and, and adjust your location virtually, I should say, inside the app. This could cost you $10 worth of helium, but definitely something to consider. Do your own research and seeing if this is something that would be benefiting for you. But just a tip for me at least, get away from these other miners. What I would recommend is you're in an area where it's kind of bulk, but there is this small little area where there's not really any miners. For safety, right off the bat, I would tell you to move there anyways. But to help and benefit, maybe give you a little bit more profit, I would move your miner away from everyone else. It just to help you, again, to get you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Now, it could adjust, it could jump your transit scale a little bit, which helps other miners too. So you're going to be helping the network. So you shouldn't feel bad if you do that. But it will help this number as well, because this number is not good. This is what you get paid off of. And this is not lucrative enough for your machine, basically, that your miner. And I sound like an idiot. My bad.
So he should move his location like maybe to the southwest a little bit of where his current location is.
Yeah, where it's like not really by a lot of other miners is basically what I'm saying. So check it out in the app. You can move it. You before you confirm things and spend money, take a look at it. What I would recommend is log in with your Discord on this website, app.hotspotty.net, and go into the reward scaling, and it allows you down here. You can edit placement. I don't want to do it with yours because I have to zoom in and actually get closer to where you're actually at with it. And you can move your miner, so you can move it over here, and it'll tell you how much better your transmit scale gets. Now, because you are in this hex that is not, it's densely populated, it's not going to change it by a lot, but it's going to be enough to change it. You'll see a notice is what I'm saying in the profitability that you have on your H&T hotspot. So just something to think about. For safety reasons, helium allows this, and honestly, it helps more than it hinders. And some people would say it's spoofing, but in reality, you're going to be helping the network a little bit more because you're going to be helping other people get paid a lot more than what they were with you just sitting next to another hotspot somewhere. And if you don't have a higher antenna, again, I would suggest getting a higher antenna. There is a company out there. Ew. Whoops.
Yeah, ours is up there. It's 10 plus meters up in the air at least.
That's another thing. That's the number one tip I would say for helium. The higher, the better. Now I know, being in the Nevada area, and then also being in like where I'm at, Arizona, Phoenix, we are a flat plain unless you're by the mountains. So getting it high is next to impossible unless you're in a downtown area and you can actually get on the high rises. But the higher you can get your miner, the more you're going to make as well. So if you can throw it in your attic or if you can put it on your roof, put it up there, you will make more. The thing is this antenna, right? It is a straight thing, right? And most of the signal comes from the center of the antenna, and it sprawls out like this. It does this. So if your antenna is sitting on your nightstand in your room, what is it doing? It's just shooting off to your neighbor. It's not actually shooting off to the highest sky limits of anything. So if you have it on your roof in your attic, then at that point you can see that it's actually spreading off into a general vicinity of somewhere. And it's kind of like, it's not in a donut shape like this at all. It scatters a little bit, but it does funnel your actual your DBI or your signal. It funnels, so it makes a shape that it goes out like this and then comes back right to not the bottom part, but the top at least. So you're like basically umbrelling. Yeah, you're umbrelling as the signal goes out. Now, I will tell you with mine, ATBI, I have mine on the roof and of a 2-story house. And I hit hotspots over 30 miles away. So it's just something to think about. Again, higher DBI antenna is always a good thing when it comes to helium mining. But you also have to do your research, because if you're in a high rise right now, 6-7 stories in the air and you got helium hotspots all over the place, you may only need a 3 or 4 DBI antenna because everybody's below you. But if they're not, and you're scattered out like in the Nevada area, Phoenix area, things like that, getting a higher DBI antenna will actually extend your range so you can hit hotspots all over the place.
Hartzell says, we are 60 miles to the nearest miner. We have customers in between. Could we set up a chain of miners and get to our location?
Yeah, you can. So I have seen on threads out there where people are having they're doing like remote setups. You definitely can. So when you buy a miner, you can do whatever you want to do with it. Right? And the one thing is, you want to be equal. You want to be far enough. You want to be close, but you want to be far enough away. So when you go on to Hotspotty, or even if you go on to the Explorer of Helium, they show all these hexes, right? Where your miner is. Just try to be the next hex over. If you're trying to do a chain, like you're saying, maybe make it a couple different hexes. And you could still do the chain. The one thing is, doing that chain, I don't think you're going to really have a positive effect. Like, you'll be able to hit whatever the last chain is, the last miner in that chain, but that last miner is going to suffer because it can't hit the first miner of that chain if it's too far away. So, and you also have to take in consideration, like, every time you do a beacon, you get paid off your witnesses, and you can only have a max of 18 witnesses every time you do a beacon. So instead of doing a chain, what I would recommend, if you can, I would make a grid. And I'm not saying that this is cheating or gaming the system, but China is definitely doing this. They have, you can go and zoom in on the Helium network, and you can see where they basically blanketed a grid, and it's all the hotspots. Basically 18 hotspots set up in a grid style, distance far enough, and they're just pumping out helium. So that would be, if I was gonna do it one way, that's the way that I would do it. I would do it in a grid style versus a chain of miners down in one specific row, if that makes sense. But these antennas, sorry, these antennas here, these McGill microwave, these are the antennas that you want to look at. They make a 6 dBi and a 9 dBi. Now, the guy that is in Nevada, where he's like basically on the edge of the valley, one thing that I might recommend is getting a directional antenna. I mean, it'd be great for maybe not this particular one, but something similar like here it is. Yeah. So what I would recommend is you're on the back, right? So something behind you is basically hindering other hotspot miners to go there, correct? So you want to hit everybody that way. Well, you have an antenna right now that's just going like this, in a circle around you. Well, not in a circle, but it's
Umbrella.
pinging. Yeah, it's umbrellaing basically. So this is directional, and it basically will shoot off whichever way you direct it. So it might be advantageous for you to get a high DBI antenna that specifically just shoots out one way. Forget your neighbors. I mean, it's great. They'll be able to see you, but honestly, you want to see everybody else that's further away that has a good transmit scale, because that's what you get paid off of, their transmit scale. So maybe even if you look around in your area, like south of you, there are more transmit scales that are like at 1. That would be ideal too, because then at that point, anytime you're hitting like a 1 transmit scale from someone else, that's how much you get paid. Not 1 H&T, but the scale itself pays out the most H&T it does for transmitting to them witnessing you. So it's just something to think about. This is actually fairly cheap compared to some of the antennas that are out there. So
Well, I'm over here researching something.
you're getting tired of my shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to read the response, the questions, and answer, and setting up for the next segment.
Okay.
So let me bring up my chat here again. So yeah, Michael, go ahead and definitely switch that antenna if you have another one. If it's closer to that 9 dBi range, like Mark was saying, and even use maybe potentially pick up a directional one and try to shoot that signal over your neighbors and hit some of those helium miners out to the south of you. Do you guys have any experience? Oh, sorry, I skipped one question. That's what I meant. I would like to talk to you about it. Yeah, we're available. Mark definitely knows far more than I do. I've just been installing it and troubleshooting, but Mark has definitely been doing a lot more research when it comes to the antennas and the payouts. So, well, hit us up, hit him up, and we'll try to answer the best we can for you. Let me make sure we're still broadcasting here on YouTube because I just got a notification. It looks like we're still good. Okay. Uh-oh.
So I see one question here. It says, do you guys have any experience with the gold shell CK miners? What's your opinion? So I do not have any experience with the CK miners. I know Gold Shell is a reputable brand, so I can't see that there anything being bad with the miner. I also don't mess with that blockchain either.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I mean, so it's running off of Eagle Song algorithm. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Eagle, whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, it says it's pushing out 12 terahash, $12.74 a day. So that's just shy of or just over $1 a terahash for that machine. I'm trying to see what Gold Shell sells them at. So stock typical price for these machines are $5K. It looks like people are scalping them, or people that have them available are asking between 12K US down to 8. So not a whole lot of range in price there, but Gold Shell, like Mark says, Gold Shell puts out some good shit. So it'd be definitely something interested in picking up something maybe in the future for our farm. It looks like it's using the C14 connection, going off the picture that I'm looking at, versus a C13 connector. So just make sure you're picking up the right connector if you are picking up a one of these miners, a CK5 or CK6, because they are running. So it's 2400 watts. So it's a little bit little bit more power demanding than some of them. Not as power hungry as say the S19s, but still power hungry. Mike says he tries to usually buy directly from Gold Shell.
Yeah, I mean they do the notifications via email. They've been pretty smart about it recently with adding the two-step there with typing out Tesla and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean if you can't find, I know My Connect has access to these, but they are higher than Gold Shell at a retail. So it's profitable, man, and it's not something. If you can find a way to liquidate easy and fast, if you're planning on not holding it, it's worth getting it. But if you're planning it, obviously it's whatever you feel most comfortable with. You like the project, things like that. If you're hodling it, things, whatever. But yeah, if it's profitable, if you know you can liquidate, if you are liquidating, and you know an easy way, why not?
Yeah. So CK box for us, we can get them for 1,064. Sorry, 1,393 for the CK box, and then the CK5 we can grab them at 11,612. And that's from our supplier. Again, we're not, you pay for shipping, we'll inspect it for you, make sure it's good quality, and get it right out to you. Not making anything off it, not trying to scalp, not trying to hurt anybody. It's just these things are few and far between to come by unless you're part of the Gold Shell mailing list and you're getting those 2-factor little codes from Gold Shell and you're fast enough to get your hands on them. Get your hands on them and resell them. Seems like that's what a lot of people are doing right now because they are so profitable. What that could be said just alongside the the Kendra, whatever it is. What are those miners called? KDA.
Yeah, Kadena miners.
Kadena. Yeah, I mean those things are very profitable right now, but I've yet to see one. Just like the L7s, you've yet to see one. They're on their way. But once they hit, they won't be as profitable as, say, ASIC miner value is telling you they are.
So Mitchell says he's working on heat management currently. Any advice? I have 4 S19J Pros, a bunch of smaller miners, L3 plus gold shells.
Are you in the Discord?
Yeah, right. Are you in the Discord channel?
Send us pictures.
Right, and then we can figure that out. Space, airflow is a big thing. I'm sure that's just the basic stuff. So I'm sure you're already troubleshooting that. Knock a wall out.
Build a wall.
Cut them off. That's one thing that we did. You could see in one of the farm groups in the Discord, John here built a big wall, and we basically have air coming out one end of it, and the machines are on the other end of it. Well, Mitchell, go get in the Discord, man.
Yeah, let us know. Mitchell will help you out. Like I said, we're not here to hurt anybody. We're all here to make each other happy and make sure everybody is taken care of. Not in Discord. I think Mark said it all.
Yeah, you can you can hit me up on any of the socials. I'm on Instagram, AmigosPC, all one word. Hit me up, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the socials.
Coastal Crypto 11 on Twitter.
Yeah, Coastal Crypto 11 on Twitter.
My Twitter and Instagram should be in the description down below as well.
There you go. Yeah, all you gotta do is just look at, if you Google AmigosPC, like everything comes up. Just one word.
Mr. Big Time Podcaster.
I mean, our company too. Come on, jeez.
I'm looking for pictures. The latest pictures from our farm.
Or fucking email me, man. Mark at coastalcrypto.info. Like what? How do we not? How have we not been saying that? Mark at coastalcrypto.info. If you don't want to email me because I look weird, John at coastalcrypto.info. Or you can also hit our office up, which Scott won't respond to you, but office at coastalcrypto.info.
Or
All
Scott
those emails.
at coastalcrypto.info.
Oh yeah, I forgot he had an email because he doesn't fucking log into it.
I reset it for him, so he should be able to now.
Don't reset mine.
I did it correctly this time. So let me see if I can drag this over, see if it works. So this is the wall that I was building. It's changed a little bit. So this is obviously the exhaust side of the farm for us, and we've just recently put a large 48-inch or 40-inch exhaust fan in this back wall. So cold air comes in on the back side of this wall, gets pulled in through the miners. Just for a reference, a single L3 miner will push about 280 CFMs alone. So 280 CFMs times however many miners you have, or however many fans you have, those 7-inch fans. I hit to multiply 280 by however many fans you're running. When I say fans, I mean, or miner, I say the system. So it's a push-pull system. So that single system, the push-pull, is 250 CFMs per setup. So it's definitely pulling in plenty of cold air from the outside right now. We're not running any AC. We're not running any external fans. Just using the miner
literally
fans alone.
snowing.
What's that?
Where he's at.
It's snowing.
Literally
snowing. Well, it will be snowing tomorrow or Friday and Saturday here. You're in that hotter climate, but separate exhaust side from intake side. Get them all pointing in the same direction. Whatever you got to do to get that hot air away from the machines will help. This is more or less what we have done. Because we're scaling up, we have enough room to potentially put another wall in the space where exhaust fans are facing each other and they're getting pulled out an aisleway that's connected with a large CFM fan, pulling all that heat out and away.
What I've seen a lot of the bigger mines do, if you have the space at least, is they do hot and cold aisles. If that's something you're not aware of, look that up, Google it online. Hot and cold aisles, that really does help ventilate. I've even seen some of the bigger guys, they have hot corridors. So basically they've made a room inside of a room, if that makes sense. Like they have machines that go in like a rectangle, right? And then they all project into this just blank space inside the warehouse that they're in. And then they have basically these big kitchen vents that just suck all the air up out of the building right above it. So some of the systems can get very intricate when it comes to heat, ventilation, things like that with the L3 or any machine, any ASIC machine. But what we did, very simplistic, cost effective. I think we had a longer conversation of how much is this going to cost versus John actually going and getting the material and doing it, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, we just pulled the trigger and went ahead and did it. Our machines were getting too hot, being in the space that they were in. Spacing them out only works for so many miners. Once you get past, 10 miners, 5 miners, then you got to start, really looking at airflow and circulation, getting that hot air away from the equipment. Like Mark was saying with the corridors, we are working hopefully here soon in helping design another farm close to our farm that we'll be managing and looking after. And he'll be doing something similar to the whole corridor effect is what Mark is talking about. This farm will be underground. It will be in a basement of a larger building, and it's got 12-foot ceilings. So we'll make, rooms within this basement that can, are 8 feet tall by, whatever dimensions they are, where all the miners push out and it gets sucked off of that. The heat gets sucked away from that, that 4-foot space above where the miners are getting their fresh air from. Creating that separation between exhaust and intake makes a huge difference. But there are different ways of doing it. The farm that we're in now, the walls, it's more of a rectangular shape. It's a 30, 40 foot room, I believe, by only 15 feet, 20 feet. So it was simple enough for me to make a single wall to divide the space in half, 12 feet tall, and put some insulation panels and cut some holes in it for the exhaust fans. It all depends on your setup. Send me some specs, send me some dimensions, and we could talk about some cheap options. Email Mark. We'll help you out. We'll try to figure something out for you, cheap, cost effective. Because that's the name of the game when we're mining, right? Is keeping our costs down so we can make that money off that crypto.
Everybody should email Scott.
Scott.
Crypto.info. Email. I don't know, whatever it is. Just a period. That doesn't matter. Just email. Email him a meme. Something funny.
Everybody send Scott a meme. I like that. So it's Scott, SCOTT at coastalcrypto.info. Go send him a meme. Got some pretty funny memes over on Discord lately, I do have to say. Been getting a rise out of them.
Oh, dude, you know what you should do? Or not, I mean, not you. Do whatever you want. But I think that would be it would be cool to do a showcase of, people's equipments or their setups or something like that.
We can do that. We can, if people want it, we'll start a channel on Discord or email me, or email Mark. We can do that on another live stream, maybe in about a week or two, and we'll diagnose your setups. How about that? We'll mining farm, we'll diagnose it and troubleshoot it.
We'll rate your setup.
Rate your setup.
Not that ours is, at the end all be all of anything, or a 10 of 10 or 5 stars on Yelp. It's nothing like that. But
notice how I didn't show you any of my cable management.
Hey, we got those nice boxes, right? They all feed into that at least.
Yes. So
those nice switch boxes.
I think I posted on TikTok and Discord. Let me see if I can pull up the video here on Twitter, on Discord. There we go. So this is as I'm building it. This is a process. Now, if I was to do this again, I definitely wouldn't make the shelves 38 inches. I'd only do them maybe 24. They don't need to be that long for the miners, obviously. I just, did what I had, used what I had to kind of put everything together. You can kind of see the box torn apart there. The power solutions, we do have meters in them. If you were interested in them, we do offer meter systems for them. But yeah, cable management is definitely top of my list for one of the next things I need to work on. Big pet peeve of mine. Big pet peeve. But we took care of the power safety. That was big. That was number one. Number two was cable management. Well, we'll get there. It's growing fast. I do have to take some more pictures and some more videos of inside the farm, show you guys what we got going on. Maybe we'll do a live AMA from the farm when Mark comes back into town to set up some of the new equipment we ordered.
We gotta talk about that.
What's that?
So we gotta talk about that.
Yes, we do. Especially because they ship those out far faster than I thought they were going to.
Yeah, well, the Chinese New Year is in a couple weeks, so they're trying to get everything out now.
Gotcha. Understood. Here's this is, here you go, Mitchell. Nice little shot there for you. Back when we were testing all the machines and making sure that they were all set up properly and everything was flashed correctly, This is how we were doing it. Um, each one of these drops from the ceiling is a 100 amp service, and it was just cables and miners nightmare everywhere, trying to get these things up and running. And right, let's say right where this duct is here on the ceiling is about where the new wall is. So our intake side is going to be far smaller than your exhaust side. You want that intake side to be almost a vacuum. You want a negative pressure. Right now we have a negative pressure on that intake side. That way, the hot air has room to expand and be evacuated out of the building. And we had an HVAC contractor come in and help us set it all up. Took the measurements, did it proper. As we get closer to the summer months, we will have to enlarge one of the intake holes on the wall just to make sure that we have a proper CFM flow and cooling. But right now, if you're in colder climate, that's that time of year. You're northern hemisphere. You're loving the weather. You're mining heavy and hard. So, but it's all process, my friend. It's all growing pains. But yeah, I definitely like that idea, Mark, of doing an AMA or a live stream. Rating other people's setups.
We wouldn't really rate, but just kind of talk about it, I guess.
Oh no, I'm gonna be brutal. I pick apart ours every time I look at it, so I'm gonna do the same thing to everybody else's.
Oh, I would not do this here. Where you got the miners at? I wouldn't do that at all. Mitchell, make sure you send us your setup.
Yeah, see that blue cable? It needs to be yellow. It clashes. I don't like it. No, but I think if you guys are interested in something like that, definitely I'll start a channel here tonight on Discord. If you're on Discord, just take some pictures of your setups. Let us know what you got going on. If you're not on Discord, email us or tag us on Twitter or Instagram or wherever you're at. We'll find them. We'll put them together. We'll compile them and we'll go through them.
Sounds good, dude.
Yeah, let us know, man. We'll help you out. Appreciate it. All right. It's getting late here. I'm just waiting for my wife to come down the stairs and yell at me. Anybody else have any final thoughts or questions? Concerns? You cue the Jeopardy theme song. I can't actually play it because YouTube will copyright strike me. Careful. Don't want to get in trouble. No problem. We're here for you. And again, guys, I'm doing my best to get those videos, get some new videos, new content out to the Side Hustle Enterprise YouTube channel, not just live AMAs. The lives are always fun. I love doing them, love chatting with you guys. But I'll do my best to get some more videos out there, stuff that I'm researching, stuff that I'm looking at, get you guys an update on my AMC and my stock portfolio. And, if you're sick of listening to me or looking at my face, you can always, check out Mark's YouTube channel, subscribe for him, get him up to 1,000. Let's get him monetized. And,
yeah, man.
We're always here to help, here to chat. So, let us know what you got going on. You with us, Mark? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
I thought you left already. Your head's down, quiet.
Oh, someone's asking me some questions. They had a. If you guys are GPU mining, I know that we're trying to end it here, but if you're trying to GPU mine, always check your connections. Sometimes the risers, they are not friendly, and especially the older ones, they just are awful. So it's always a riser.
I think Red Panda Mining has one of the best videos when it comes to bad risers. He's got a tote. One of his videos, he shows off a tote, full of bad components. It's just mainly risers. Just they go bad, you know.
all the time. I throw mine away right away. I should actually do that. I do a big
Promo
old
account. What's actually the deal with the L7's artificial scarcity?
Oh, what? We're
He's
getting
asking
some questions here. Okay. Promo account. Sounds like Mark had some lovely things to say about the L7. Oh, I do. I have all the lovely things to say about the L7. So
they don't exist.
we know one shell exists. And I want to put that out there because Bitmain showed it off at an expo. They did not show it running. Okay. So food for thought. They are now delayed. November shipments have yet to be sent out. People are putting deposits down, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they have nothing to show for it. Like these things, when they first launched, were supposed to ROI in like 90 days. Like it was insane because the Doge's price was so high. They're nowhere to be found. And I think there's a few catalysts that is causing. I should go on. I can rant forever on this, but
I'm looking for a document, so keep going for a second. I'm gonna jump in here in a second.
The L7, Bitmain. Obviously, there was the ban in China, right? And that happened like literally right after Bitmain was all like, "Hey, we got the L7. It's coming," right? Well, there's already been a chip shortage, right? They didn't make enough for the demand that came in, and they got overbought. Now, do I personally think that this machine does not exist? No. I know for a fact that one shell does exist. They showed it at an expo. It looked like an ASIC machine. It could have been an S19. I don't know. But they didn't turn it on. When they launched the new Hydro S19, the 110 terahash one, they had a video of someone mining on it, messing with it, overclocking it a little bit. The L7 at the conference, they just showed it. They showed a picture and then they had like a display, or no one saw anything of this thing running. So I don't think that they even had the chips to start production when.
So I'm going to stop you right there because I got my document. So exactly what Mark is talking about is kind of segueing into the video I got coming out. And if you stuck around this long,
I haven't seen this video, by the way.
If you stuck around this long for the AMA, I'll give you kind of a sneak peek. So, I mean, I dove deep down the rabbit hole. So this company is called Marathon. It's changed its names half a dozen times. It's in bed with BlackRock. It's in bed with Grayscale, who does ETFs and big money management. So here's just a little snippet from their latest annual report. Let me see if I can make it big enough here for everybody to read. So October 23, 2020, the company executed a contract with Bitmain to purchase an additional 10,000 next generation Antminer S19 Pro ASIC miners. 2021 delivery schedule for 2,500 units was delivered in January. And it goes on and on. And down here we have S19 Pros, 6,000 units. Gave them a discount of 8.63%. $21.5 million was spent in September of 2021. This is all money that was lent to Marathon from BlackRock to purchase equipment from Bitmain. Bitmain has been overrun with trying to produce these S19 Pros, S19Js for Marathon, because Marathon is building a mining farm here in the US. And I don't just like Mark says, there's no chips available because those ASIC chips are being programmed to run for the S19Js. They haven't had the time or the chips or the manpower to produce.
And on top of that, they have to move. Like they can't be in China anymore. Like they're banned. They're such a reputable company in China. Like they have the power to say, "Hey, cool the jets, man. Don't ban crypto." Like they have that power. and they are being forced out, so they have to move. Now, what I'm saying right now is kind of speculation and not really, because they are being forced to move. They're moving to Taiwan, I think. That has been publicly announced by Bitmain, like the move's happening. But you're gonna sit here and have this second algo machine, right? That they launched, and hey, yeah, we like Doge too, whatever, L7, and then all of a sudden get $1 million orders for S19s. Like, no, that thing's on the back burner. I would be surprised if we saw November's shipment within the next 3 to 4 months.
Yeah,
I would
I
be
agree.
surprised. Like I don't see damn it, L7s. I don't see L7s hitting the shelves to anybody that has ordered them until at least 2023. That's my own personal opinion.
Yeah, these guys aren't manufacturing the chips; they're purchasing the chips and assembling them on
Yeah,
their PCB boards. And a lot of times, Goldshell, Innosilica, Bitmain, all these other WhatsMiner, they are all using or in the same area together manufacturing these PCB boards, and they're using proprietary software and control boards. The control boards are where it's at. The control boards are their proprietary, patented piece of equipment for a lot of these miners. One, there's a chip shortage. They're all trying to get their hands on the same chip, 7 nanometer, 15 nanometer.
Not even like the ASIC builder companies that are trying to get these chips, dude. New car manufacturers are trying to get these chips. Like, they're all these chips do multiple things. The freaking clapper that turns your light on and off that still exists is trying to get these clips. Yeah, like, or these chips. Like, it is ridiculous how short. Like, I don't think anybody really knows the extent of the chip shortage that we have and like what's to come.
Right.
Like, if anybody thinks they're going to get a good deal on a GPU anytime soon, no way. Not going to happen. ETH could go proof of stake tomorrow. GPUs still would not be around at normal levels prior to this big crypto boom and everything else, the COVID, whatever. And I'm going to shut your channel down because I said that. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm already shadow banned.
I could go on forever about this chip shortage. I don't see that actually catching up to demand until the end of 2023. It's just everything that I've looked at when it comes to just what's indicating the demand supply that's even there. Foundries aren't even up and running. There's continually being some other different thing that's hindering the foundries to even get up and running. And once they do get up and running, they'll get caught up in 2023 at some point. And then at that point, they're going to have trouble keeping up with the demand. So I don't even see if like we're looking GPUs, looking at like Chevy, Ford, or any of the other smaller automobiles beyond Tesla, like getting microchips to make their vehicles more efficient. And because the car companies they are like trying to get in and beat Tesla, and they are failing miserably because they can't get their hands on chips.
Right.
So that's just one other aspect. Think about the TV manufacturers that are trying to bring 8K TVs to everybody. So it's just like, that's another chip. Like, the chips the next gen clapper, like that's like, it's a chips. There are no chips is basically what I'm saying. Like Pringles, they are running out of chips, guys. The Pringles are running out of chips.
Not my Pringles. Not my Pringles.
The foundries are not making chips fast enough to keep up with demand.
Right. And then you got, Bitmain's got BlackRock and Marathon breathing down their neck. These aren't, mom and pop companies like Coastal Crypto. I mean, we're trying to be big, but BlackRock's got power. They want to shut you down. That doesn't matter. There's no border that's going to stop them. They'll come get you. Their lawyers will find you. So
yeah,
when they got,
it's not personal, it's business.
When you got multiple orders, tens of millions, 20 million, 100 million worth of equipment orders, you better deliver. So I think they're panicking. I think Bitmain's in panic mode. I think a lot of companies are overextended and overspent and out of time and out of money and out of resources.
So promo says, wondering if BTC is headed north of 100K and insiders like BlackRock know it, while simultaneously Doge is too cheap for people to just drop 12K, be mining hundreds per day until 2023 or so. So here's one thing that to comment on what you're saying here. A good website to go out and look at, just Google it, the Bitcoin halving calendar. I shared one of the images to John and Scott just the other day, and if it basically shows you the trend of all the Bitcoin halvings, okay, and Bitcoin, for the exception of these last 2 years, has had a very queued up schedule of what happens during a Bitcoin halving, and so we just passed the Bitcoin halving. We are now in what would be considered a bear market, even though things are pumping and things are crazy. Like we're never going to see the normal bear market like we used to. That's just not going to happen. Institutional money is in the game at this point. It's just we're not going to see the
Osprey,
normal.
We have Grayscale. You have NYDIG. These are all people that are building companies that are building ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Yeah. There's the crypto winter that we're accustomed to is not a thing anymore.
Right.
I mean, crypto winter is a thing, and I think we're in it. We've been in it for a little while.
Look, it's snowing.
Yeah, exactly. In the background there, crypto winter back over there. But look at the trend of what Bitcoin has done over the past 3 halvings, right? Like dip, slamming down. We're now at that point where it's like slamming down, and then all of a sudden, whoop! Like it think about it. Just obviously do your own research. I'm just some guy. I really am, and
Not
I'm ranting at this
advice,
point.
Not financial advice.
Yeah, exactly. Right on the video over there, right? I don't know, over there. Whatever. Yeah. So I don't even know where I was going because I was just ranting. But no, yet it's coming. Like, and you know what? My mind is too little at this point to think beyond just like the growth that is going to be, the potential of growth. Is you have these companies like BlackRock involved, where they're putting millions of dollars into this. And think about it, miners will be rewarded for another 100+ years, like not hundreds of years, just 100 and some years. I think like 104 or something like that. Like miners will be rewarded the block reward.
41.
Yeah. So it was like 120 years or something. Whatever, 19. I can't do math. It's too late.
Block rewards will last for another 121 years. But
yeah. So
you'll get transactional rewards after that.
But but the block reward itself though gets halved every single time. So all of a sudden there's scarcity still. Like it's gonna constantly be like I don't know. It's gonna be one wild roller coaster. And for those of us that are here to take advantage of it, I think we're doing the right thing.
I mean, you brought up BlackRock, promo. You mentioned BlackRock. So BlackRock gave money to Marathon, who is a mining company, who's setting up a mining farm. We're talking, 70 megawatts of power, and then they're also lending out money to companies like NYDIG and Osprey and Grayscale. So they're spreading. So BlackRock's at the top. They're going, hey, I'm giving money over here to the farm. So I'm going to collect my BTC from my farm. And what am I going to do with that BTC? I'm going to go give it to this new founding ETF. I'm going to give $3 million worth of BTC to NYDOG. I'm going to give $3 million to Osprey. And I'm going to give $3 million worth of BTC to a Grayscale. And that's how they're going to start these ETFs. That's how BlackRock is funding these ETFs and mining at the same time. They're double dipping, and they're trying to get into the game, so that the price is only going to go up as these ETFs become mainstream and popular. So they're mining the Bitcoin that's going into these ETFs, and then these ETFs are obviously, you can buy into them, and collect your residual income as a traditional trader through the ETFs. It's it like Mark said, it's only going to go up. You know, we see little dips, and you're gonna look back at these dips and you're gonna laugh. Oh, it went from 50 to 40. Yeah, when the
That's what I'm trying to say too, dude. It's bigger than that.
Right.
Like it, and I can't even comprehend it right now. One thing I would recommend, and I'm not trying to like shout out just anybody particular or whatever, but I've been communicating back and forth and just chiming in on posts from Son of a Tech, and I've been posting like these images like on our Twitter account, AmigosPC, and just saying like, hey, you know, I'm seeing these growths, seeing these things. Like, there's something deeper coming that just I don't think is really apparent to anybody
hit that
yet.
bell for my next video.
Yeah, and then yeah, the thing. I don't know. Like, it's like I said, it's too big for me to even like comprehend exactly what like the next thing is when it comes to all this. Like, growth is going to be there. That it looks to be like a thing that is going to happen. Not a financial advisor. Do your own research. Blah blah. Yeah, whatever. YouTube. But on top of that, there's something underlying that's bigger than just growth. And we need to figure out what that is before it happens so we can be the ones to pioneer that.
Or at
And when I
least
say
be on the
we, I
front.
mean everybody here, the chat, whoever's listening in, chiming in. Fuck, dude, I'm going to go get a tinfoil hat. We're going to let.
You want to be on the front lines.
With the L7, man. Yeah, we'll be here all night talking about shit that's going on in the crypto world.
Love it. No, it definitely goes far deeper than a lot of people realize. Being somebody who trades on a daily basis, you know, as a retail trader and day trading retail trader, I trade daily. You see it. You see these companies pop up. You see ETFs being filed, regulations start, and then you dive deeper. Well, who's filing this ETF? Who's funding this ETF? Oh, well, so and so worked with this company for 7 years. It's all connected. It's not a conspiracy. It's fact. You know, you can trace everything. It's not that hard to jump on LinkedIn or Google, and Google some random guy's name who works for Osprey and find out that 10 years prior to Osprey he worked for BlackRock. It's all there. It's.
You want a back door on something? You talked about like, someone worked for so-and-so for whatever. Solana.
Yeah.
Look it up, go to their webpage. The main developer, I don't know if it's the developer, the main guy of Solana, it could be a couple of them too. I'm not, again, my facts are not like 100%, but I know the piece of that connects all this together. Solana itself, very centralized, right?
Yep.
People who created Solana worked for JP Morgan Chase prior to launching this project. You're going to tell me that they're still not in bed? You're going to tell me that they are still not in bed together? The company that literally would fire employees because they traded Bitcoin or any type of crypto, they are out here now building a blockchain.
They've been doing it. I mean, I really don't want to out family member, and I really hope he's not watching my YouTube channel, and I hope he doesn't lose his job. But insider information. I have a very close family member who worked for IBM for years. IBM has been on the front lines of cryptocurrency from the beginning. He has since left IBM and is now training members of Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America to understand blockchain technology. That is his job. He is a consultant, and he trains bankers, not branch bankers. We're talking, corporate office bankers.
Yeah, you're talking about the Wall Street cats, man.
Yeah, he's training these people how to understand and use and the fundamentals of blockchain technology. Not Bitcoin, not Litecoin, but the technology behind it. Big banks, it's coming. I mean, there's a lot of money right now floating around in cryptocurrency, and they want their piece of it. They want their piece of the pie.
I can go on
I
for
know, I
like
could too.
I can't believe that that's where this went. Like this should just be its own thing. Hey, on Tuesdays we sound like lunatics. Everybody, come on, chime in. Mention the L7.
Mention the L7.
Next Tuesday it'll be the CK5.
Down with hedge funds.
No, I'm just kidding. Gold shells were pretty reputable. I've yet to find anything sketchy with that just yet.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard any bad things about gold shell. Silica, that's another story. But gold shell seems to be a good, reliable miner. They just they're tough to come by. That's what it comes down to. Promo. So basically, you want to be BlackRock. They're sitting pretty high. Yes, they are. Funny you mentioned Solana. It has a very subtle yet. I can't read through my microphone. I'm sorry.
Subtle yet prevalent appearance in the Total Recall remake.
There we go.
Where it's all future. Yeah, I can. Where it's all future. Yeah, but you know what they're missing? They're missing 3 boobs. So it's no recall to me. Sorry.
Total Recall reference. Wow, way to pull that one out.
I didn't do it. Promo did.
Oh, sorry. And I think
what they're missing.
I could say that really ages us, but there has been a Total Recall reboot, so really is
not as good. It's complete crap. Colin Farrell did awful. It's just awful. It's not even. I don't know.
I don't remember it. I watched it once, so I can't comment.
Oh, there you go.
The other one though, the Schwarzenegger. Yeah. I think I still have on Laserdisc.
I've seen that one so many times. If you listen to our podcast from the very beginning, I think it's episode 2. We actually do a movie review of both together.
It's on your top 10 list.
Yeah. Well, the first Total Recall, I'm a huge fan. I would be considered a Total Recall maxi.
Mitchell, Gold Shell and Bitmain are fine. The Gold Shell website sucks. Complete crapshoot.
Yeah, they I don't think they have the server capability to handle large loads at any given time when they do a drop. I think that's the biggest complaint that I've seen thus far. They gotta fork the money out and get those Amazon AWSs.
Well, I think that's one of our next steps, isn't it? To set up our own pool.
Yeah, it's on the nice to have stuff.
Nice to have stuff.
So well, dude, that's a whole thing in itself. I mean,
I'd love the future of coastal crypto. That is the future.
Yeah, it's not difficult, but I think there's just a lot of risk involved in doing that because the amount of attacks that pools get on a regular basis.
Yep. Yeah.
So, we also have to talk about the roadblock to the NFT.
The roadblock to the end. Oh,
yeah. I talked to the. I guess we really shouldn't be mentioning this on the actual stream, but I talked to the artist today. Need to start dialing in the roadblock and all that stuff.
We will build it. They will come.
Literally.
Hint, hint. Couple NFTs hopefully coming in the works for coastal crypto. Obviously, we're gonna do a coastal cryptocurrency themed NFT for us. But Mark's got some big NFT ideas of his own that we're going to hopefully launch here sooner rather than later. And hopefully those funds will help go towards building out the farm and building out maybe a mining pool for us. Who knows? Who knows? We didn't think we'd make it this far, right?
Dude, and the sky's the limit, and I've said that since day one.
You did.
So
You did.
everything that we've done so far has been one amazing ride, even though you get annoyed by my constant text message of, can you power cycle the H&T miner?
I do not get it annoyed. I'm fine with it. That's good. It's all good. I swear. My phone is turned off. I'm sorry. Didn't pay my bill. Set up a pool. Met Arnold at Terminator 3 premiere. Big dude. Yeah, I heard Arnold's a big dude, but I also heard what's the other 80s action hero there?
Stallone
is a tiny guy.
Yeah,
I heard he's like tiny. Gotta get that HGH. Set up a pool. Yeah, we'd love to set up a pool. Mark brought up some good points though. It's about security. We don't want anybody, we want to go into it with the best of intentions. We want to make sure that security is, utmost priority, making sure that, the pool is safe and your equipment is safe. A lot of small pools get hacked, get DDoS hacked. Was it DDoS? Yeah. They get, the servers get overloaded and they cause the servers to get, to go down and crash. We want to avoid that. We're going to be able to pool, first and foremost, it's going to be very exclusive, invite only. It's going to be small. It's going to be, very tightly wound passwords and everything else. Because we want to make sure we're safe. But yeah, I've always wanted to build a pool. I've always wanted to have one of my own. I've been talking about it for years and years. Coastal Crypto finally seems to be opening doors for not just my ideas, but Mark's ideas and Scott's ideas. And we're shooting for the stars, just like Mark said. I am going to be, play devil's advocate a little bit as we move forward. I think Mark has kind of grasped that, that's part of who I am, playing devil's advocate as we move forward. Not being the naysayer, just, the what if guy. If making sure we get our bases covered and, our I's are crossed and our T's are dotted.
News to me. Thanks. On the live stream of all places. You're just gonna
surprise. He says he met Sly too at a later Rocky movie premiere. You're right, little guy.
Wait, are you a movie producer? Like, what are you going? How are you getting to these premieres?
Yeah, he's sneaking into the red carpet. Puts on a nice suit. Pulls up.
My podcast interviews a lot of not well-known actors. So if you know anybody that would want to come on the podcast and talk about acting, please forward them my way.
Please invite me when you do. Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you in that pool. Yeah, definitely reach out to Mark or myself. Like Mark just said, he's got a podcast. He's always looking for new and interesting people to interview on his podcast. And, make sure we have your contact information if you, want to get involved in the pool or Coastal Crypto, if you're looking for equipment, if you got content, or if you need help. We're here. We're available. So we started to say goodbye 40 minutes ago. I think we're actually gonna sign off here. My kids got school in the morning. I got to get up.
Don't bring up another machine.
He brought up the promo brought up the L7 again.
Damn you! Let me tell you about the. No,
That's it. We're done.
Yeah,
we're good. Yeah, guys, I'll do my best to get some new content out to you. Again, check out Mark's channel, AmigosPC podcast, YouTube channel. He's got some awesome videos over there. Mitchell says he's actually from the music industry. So that's
nice.
So definitely reach out to Mark. You guys need to get in touch. I know many people in low places.
Me too. Unfortunately, I don't think it's the right low places though.
I come from an old school Italian family from Boston. I know we all got those people. Okay, before I get myself in trouble.
Right.
Here. I think someone's at my door knocking. Is that a ball peen hammer? No. No, take it easy, guys. If you got questions, check out Discord. Always links in the description down below. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. Always love the subscribe button. Thanks, Ronald, if you're still stuck around. I saw that super chat earlier. Appreciate you, bud. We're here to help. We're real people. Reach out to us. We're actual YouTubers and podcasters that respond to our fan base. We talk back. We won't ignore you. I'm doing my best not to ignore you. But we'll catch you later. Take it easy, guys, and thanks for sticking around this long.